Hello, everyone. We're back with another episode of The Breakdown. I'm Austin Johnson,
And I'm Drew Covington.
and now training camp for the NFL starts really this week at the end. So we'll also talk about the division winners, give our predictions this coming year in the NFL. I'll let you go first. I want to hear what you have to say, man.
Oh
You
my
want to go NFC or
gosh.
AFC?
Honestly, I think the AFC is obviously a little bit more interesting. So we can do AFC, man. Do
Okay,
AFC.
so who do you
Let's start.
have? Oh,
Okay,
you
got
can
you.
go.
Oh no, you got me though. I think calling out is good.
All right, so AFC North. We'll start off with the weaker divisions first. The Steelers
AFC
won last
North.
the Steelers won last year off of that last game against the Ravens where my boy Tyler, not my boy, but Tyler Duke missed the field goal. Missed the field goal at the end of the game. And it wins Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, and the Browns were last, of course.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, who do you have? Who do you have winning the AFC North?
I have Baltimore. Now, they should be the favorites in this division. I think offensively they just will be better than they were last year. I think having a fully healthy Lamar Jackson helps a lot. I don't think Derrick Henry is going to fall off a cliff. He hasn't for the past 2 years. He has one, literally just 2 years ago, 2024, one of the greatest rushing seasons of all time, paired next to the greatest rushing season of all time. So literally any other year he wins Offensive Player of the Year. So yeah,
Right.
he a Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry led offense is going to be pretty good. I don't think Lamar's going to jump off a cliff, fall off a cliff. I still think he's a top three player in football. ESPN, you're bugging. NFL players, you're bugging. You guys
Fact.
have lost y'all's mind. One dude takes 1 year off, and we forget that he had the greatest regular season of any quarterback in the modern era. Takes 1 year off. We gotta start using our brains. Um, yeah, I will say the two biggest question marks are usual, or not even three. This O line, which they drafted for them. Receivers, drafted for, we'll see. Jacoby, we saw the clips. They saying you on fraud watch. I don't know. But
He's not on fraud watch, bro. If you watch USC, you know he balled, bro.
but I'm excited for what this receiver core can look like. A lot of potential. And defense. I think Jesse Minter will get this defense. It's not gonna go back to 2023. Let's be clear. 2023's Ravens might be the greatest defense to never win a championship, unironically. Like
Fact.
they are that good. They invented the defensive triple crown. They are that good. That is why Mike McDonald proved that year that he is the best defensive mind in football, and he just won, a championship as a coach. So, but what gives me comfort is that there are tools on this defense. Um, Kyle Hamilton is still the best safety in football. He is still someone that you can use in so many different parts. Roquan Smith, and a bunch of other guys. I forgot who was their defensive lineman that's coming back officially, who was injured all last year. Yes, him being back as well. Like I I think that this team is better than the Bengals, which have no defense still. And also, completely forgot Trey Hendrickson is going to be on this team as well. There are a lot of tools that Jesse Mentor can use. I think this will be a top 10 defensive football. Wow, this is also a top five offense. I think this will be, a winning team in the AFC North. Cincinnati still has no defense, also no running game. Cleveland, you're terrible. Steelers, you're the Steelers.
I do agree with you though. Baltimore will definitely. I think Baltimore, if everybody stays healthy, especially if Lamar stays healthy, I think Baltimore will win the AFC North. Um, his last fully healthy season, he threw 41 touchdowns, only four picks. We have to remember who this guy is, bro. I'm tired of the slander, and I'm not even a Ravens fan, bro. But like, we gotta root for Lamar, man. We gotta stay with our black quarterbacks, of course. But this course around his name is just. is just bad right now for a multitude of reasons. But I think Declan Doyle
Yes.
off the Ben Johnson tree, shout out to my dog. I think he's gonna have him be more of a pocket passer like he was 2 years ago. He'll still use his legs, of course, here and there, but I think that is gonna be he's one of the biggest X factors for that offense. I think the play calling is just gonna be significantly better because Todd Monken definitely did a good job, but Todd Monken is still quite old. Now
Yeah.
Declan Doyle is the same age as Lamar, so there's more, I guess I would kind of say modern ways of using Lamar Jackson, where you don't have to
Hmm.
put him in harm's way, and kind of the same way as Ben. I know Declan is not going to go for him not like having everything up to the standard, and that's kind of how I feel like why I think Caleb will be better next year too. There's just certain things that they're gonna rag on you, and if you don't get it right, they're just not having it. And of course, you're
Yeah.
not gonna bench Lamar Jackson, so you're gonna have to figure it out. And I think Jesse Minter, as a defensive mind, I think he'll be. I think their defense will definitely be better than what they are. And just, I don't think there are many games there was like 2 or 3 games every year that the Ravens would just lose that they were winning, and then they just end up choking at the end of the game. I don't think that's
Yeah.
gonna happen either. So. I think they'll be fine. They should have made the playoffs last year, and I think the Ravens will be the clear-cut runaway winners and they have a favorable schedule too. Like on paper, they should win like 13 games. And I think if the Bengals stay healthy, their schedule is kind of weak. They should be number two, but somebody gets hurt, whether that's Chase, T. Higgins, Joe, somebody does every year. And their defense is still buns. Like their defense is ass, just straight up. So I don't know how they're gonna combat that. They gotta hope Joe stays healthy because when Joe is healthy, he's gonna get you high 4,000s, even maybe five. With how T and Jamar have gotten better every year, it's just Joe has not been healthy enough to really reap the benefits of having those two receivers. But their O line is so bad, D line is so bad. Besides DJ Turner, I can't really say they have good DBs. So
Hmm.
Pittsburgh is also Pittsburgh. They're gonna somehow get their way to 9-8, and they might fight for a wild card spot. We'll see. And then the Browns are the Browns. I hope Shador starts, but I hope he produces if he starts. Because if not, they're gonna drag his name through the mud once again.
Yeah, bro.
I don't like to see that for my dog.
Yeah.
But going on, I guess the AFC South. I feel like this is there are actually two playoff teams in there. So yeah, the AFC South.
Okay, AFC South. Um, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars. I will say I am I'm wary about this pick. I think let's be clear. I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Texans will make the playoffs next year. I think that both these teams will make the playoffs and that both these teams will be good. I think what sells me on Jacksonville is that A, defensively they're a solid team. B, offensively they're a solid team. But I think really what sells me at this point, man, Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence. I think they're cooking up something special. I really do. I think last year was Trevor Lawrence's best year in the NFL. He had the most rushing yards he's ever had as a player, the most passing yards and most passing touchdowns. Near the end of the season, he was also becoming an MVP candidate. Him and Liam Cohen, I think, have
I wouldn't have ranked them as that, but yes, technically you're right.
Liam Cohen has unlocked something in Trevor Lawrence as a player, and I'm really excited about that. I think um, I think if they can harness that offensively, they can be a really fantastic team. I will say, Brian Thomas Jr., we can't do that again. We need you to lock in this year, bro. We can't do that again. And also, hey, I have no problem with Travis Hunter playing both sides of the ball. I know a lot of people say no, he should just play cornerback. If he decides to play cornerback, wide receiver, I don't really care. I just want him to have a healthy season of football. That's honestly what I care about. He has my favorite catch of last year when they played
Kansas City.
uh, the Chiefs, in which he caught the ball and two of the defenders hit him in the air. Really great catch. He's really great. Either side of the ball he plays on, he will be really good. Don't care. I just want him to be healthy. So yeah, I believe in Liam Cohen. I believe in Trevor Lawrence. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if I believe in CJ Stroud anymore.
But you
I
believe in
saw him.
Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
See, that's where
I
we
saw I
that's where we
saw
disagree.
I saw CJ get that haircut. I'm not gonna lie to you. I heard the washed anthem play in my head, bro. I heard the washed anthem play in my
That,
head, bro.
that was hilarious. Don't get me wrong, but this is where we differ. I just looked at the Texans schedule. They low key have a hard schedule, bro. I mean, not the Texans, the Jaguars.
The
And
Jacksons.
I do because like, hold on, let's go back for a second. All right, let's see. We're gonna go through the first 5 games. The first one is against the Browns. That's a win. Game
Yeah.
two is against the Broncos
They can
at
get that
Denver.
W.
At Denver,
They
they
can get that
can.
W.
Actually, they did beat Denver last year.
I about to say they can get that W.
They
They can get that
can
W.
when they play the Patriots.
They can get that W.
They can. But okay, and then they play the Bengals and then the Eagles. These are all games where they could win, but
Okay.
I know they're going to lose at least one of them,
Yeah.
a couple of them. And then they play the Texans week 6 after the Eagles. That's not an easy start. These are all playoff teams, except
Yeah.
the Bengals and the Browns.
Except the Bengals.
And I do agree with you. I agree. I agree that Liam Cohen is a great play caller, one of the best in the league. But I trust CJ Stroud as a game manager can still get the Texans to the playoffs. And I think he's going to be better than what he was last year. I think the slander that CJ Stroud has gotten a little overboard, just a little bit. Like where they're talking about now who's better, him or Bryce. I think that's kind of ridiculous. I like Bryce, but let's slow your roll. He had 2 very bad playoff games, especially the second one against the Patriots. Because if he just was half as bad as what he did, they would have won that game. They would have gone in the AFC Championship. So definitely scary, but you got to look at it like this. The O line was not as good last year. They weren't good. Nico Collins missed, I think, at least 5 games. Tank Dell was out the entire season. So you got him throwing the ball to receiver threes for a decent amount of time. So receiver threes, fours, and fives. So I think that's something you have to look out for with CJ Stroud. I think he'll be better this year.
So
And
you have the
I mean,
Texans.
yeah, I have the Texans. Because, like, at the worst, we've never seen the Texans without CJ Stroud not make the playoff. So
True.
I don't see
True.
why that would happen now. The defense is still really good, and I think he'll genuinely be better. I just hope. And even Joe Mixon wasn't healthy last year. I don't think he played at all. Like the team around him was not as good as it was in that first year, and I think that was a key part. And it's just been a revolving door. The only person who's been consistent is Nico Collins, but he's been hurt
Yeah.
multiple times, whether that's a hamstring or just something where he'll be out on IR. It's not like he's out for a couple games. He'll be out for like a month, and then it's like CJ figure it out. Oh, then CJ, you got a concussion, and then now you like his stats drastically dropped after that concussion. I think that also played a part into it. So I think it'll be better this year. But the washed anthem with the haircut, I understand. That was hilarious. I can't lie. But I think that just have a more favorable schedule, I think. Now they
I
kind
know
of play
that's
the
true.
same thing, but I think the I think they'll be okay. I trust D'Amico too as a defensive coordinator.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think D'Amico's fantastic.
Now we did the AFC South, AFC North, AFC, AFC East. What do you got, bro? Mm,
Patriots. I think this is
really?
actually pretty easy for me to pick. Patriots low key proved in the playoffs that they are an underrated defense, and then also B. I have Drake May as a top 10 quarterback. I do think Drake May will play better this year, and I do think Drake May is one of the best passers of the football. You just gave him a true number one receiver. I think offensively this team will be better. Um, I think it's really simple. And also, I'm just not moved by Buffalo Bills at this point. I'm not moved by them getting DJ Moore. I'm not moved by them signing Joe Brady as their head coach. I think this is actually going to be literally just another Bills team. I don't think this is a case with the Ravens where it's like, okay, cool, we're shedding our identity, we're bringing in someone from the outside to bring us a new Ravens. They literally just promoted from within. I expect Josh Allen to be an MVP candidate. I expect Josh Allen to win some games. I expect the Patriots to win this division.
I agree with that. I think the Patriots, Drake May is a top 10 quarterback in the league. He had a very good year last year. Um, oh no, no bias this time. But yeah, he definitely had a very good year. With AJ Brown, I think they're gonna be good. I do think they'll come down a little bit. I don't think they'll be as good as last year, just because
Fair.
their schedule was literally on paper the easiest in the last 25 years. So you have to factor that in. Like they play the Seahawks week 1. They lost to the Steelers last year. I don't think that would happen. Jaguars week 3, Bills week 4. That's a decent start. Like they can win these games. They're not beating Seattle. I don't think that's happening.
Probably
And
not.
and they can beat the Steelers, they can beat the Jaguars, and they can beat the Bills. Like it's very possible they start out 4-0, but I highly doubt that. I don't think they're beating the Bears either. No cap.
Fairs. Fairs. I hear that. Um,
Well, I can't wait for that. Hopefully, we're so healthy by then.
um, but
But
yeah,
I
I'm
think
just
that'd be like 11-6.
something like that. Maybe a little bit more. I don't know. Again, it's really just me. I'm really not moved by anything Buffalo has done this offseason. I think this is just more of the same. I
Yeah,
think that and I think the Patriots have made better moves, and obviously the Patriots were the better team last year. So
yeah. I think I love DJ Moore, but having him as your number one, it's not really.
yeah,
It doesn't necessarily move the needle. It's better for them because like they needed a number one. I wish Keon Coleman actually like really did something. You know what I mean? But yeah, bro. I don't think like DJ Moore's stats have decreased every year, and he had other receivers to take the pressure off. And he had 50. Colson Loveland was the leading receiver of the team last year, not him. So like, I think they could possibly still win the division, Buffalo. Like, I'm not counting them all the way out just because I trust Josh Allen. Like, at least in the regular season, I can't say I trust him in the playoff, but in the regular season, like, and since he's been my quarterback at least on one of my teams in fantasy, I think for the last 4 or 5 years, I really be paying attention to Bills games. they they might start off bad or have like a rough skid or whatever, but then eventually like Josh will just start going crazy, and that's like I understand why people say he's the best quarterback in the NFL. I don't think he is, but I can understand why he
I
says it.
actually do.
You do?
We had this conversation. Well, this is technically before the pod, but I just as lore, I believe that Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the league just because Lamar unhealthy, Pat unhealthy, and also fear of regression when it comes to Pat.
Yeah. Pat has also gone down. I would still. You can. I'm not mad if you say he's number one. Like
Yeah.
it's really all three have a case to be number one. The
Mm-hmm.
case just for Mahomes is like this was the first year he didn't make the Super Bowl or make the AFC Championship. It's like
Yep.
I kind of give him a pass, especially because his receiving options haven't been great either. I mean, Rasheed Rice has been in and out of jail, injured. Like he was dealing with a lot last year. And Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt were his running backs, bro. That's never a recipe for success. Well, we can segue that to actually um, the AFC West.
I don't know. It's interesting because like Denver won it this year. Um, Bo Nix had a great season. Yeah. Patrick Mahomes plans on playing week 1. This is Patrick Mahomes. Full season, healthy season out of Patrick Mahomes. We know what that is. But
Fact.
also, receiver wise, also their secondary just got raided by the Rams. What is the defense going to look like? I still have faith in Spags,
Hey,
but
Mansoor Delane, though, I'm something. I'm rolling with Mansoor Delane. That's gonna be a great pick. That's a great pick.
I hear that. I hear that. And but also, we can. Hey man, Justin Herbert slander is popular. However, he consistently finds a way to get this team to the playoffs.
That is true.
He
He just
consistently
doesn't
finds a
do
way to
anything
get this
with
team
it.
to the playoffs. Doesn't do anything when he gets there, but still finds a way to get this team to the playoffs. I will say, if I'm following my brain, I'm gonna say the Broncos. But if I'm following my heart, it's probably gonna be the Chiefs. Probably gonna be the Chiefs. Probably gonna be the Chiefs. Chiefs probably be if Pat's healthy. If we get like literally just like a healthy season of like Patrick Mahomes, yeah, I think it's yeah. I think it's the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think the Broncos will win. I do have I think you have to take into consideration that the majority of the games that they won, they were in one score. Like, I think
Yeah,
Bo, just like Caleb, they had like the same amount of comebacks. I think he had like
yeah,
seven. I mean, some of them were to bad teams, but I think him having now Cortland Sutton, Pat Bryant, Jalen Waddle, Troy
hmm
Franklin, those are all way better weapons than I really don't know who's playing receiver in Kansas City this year. Actually, yeah, let's look that up. Who are the Kansas City Chiefs receivers? Now, I do trust Pat Mahomes. Like, he's still one of the best ever. So I believe, like, he's going to make something happen regardless. But just as a team this year, um, that's going to be tough. Because, I mean, Rasheed Rice is a good receiver when he's healthy and
yeah,
not in jail. Xavier Worthy is a great deep threat, but like not a guy you can just feed continuous targets to. He's too frail for that. Tyquan Thornton kind of has the same role as Xavier Worthy, just a fast guy. Like I'm not moved really by the receiver core. I do think Rasheed Rice is really good. It's just he's a dumbass at times and he gets hurt and gets in trouble. Like, why are you smoking weed and you're on probation? Like,
yeah, bro.
come on, bro.
I don't even know, bro. I don't
So
even
I
know.
would say that I'm worried about. And they should have drafted a receiver. Oh, they drafted Jeff Caldwell. He's actually a good player. But still.
And I will say, I don't like Sean Payton as a coach. I think that's one of the things that like that kind of leans me Broncos not winning, winning this division. I think don't get me wrong. I think what Bo Nix did last season was great, but like I think we know that like if you win like that, and same thing low key for the Bears, if you consistently win like that within a season, regression is likely to happen the next season. Um, if you win consistently close games, there. Oh yeah, I have 8 game winning drives. Okay, cool. If you didn't make any drastic moves to like be better as a team, which I don't think the Broncos have, you will likely regress the next year. So I will say Broncos are primed for regression. They do have great players. I love Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton, cool guy. But I think I have the Chiefs.
Okay. We're gonna have to revisit this at the end of the season. Who do you have winning the NFC East? I actually want to hear your thoughts on that.
Oh, interesting. I think this division might be a bloodbath this year, but in the event that it isn't, it's the Eagles.
Really?
They're the best team. They still have one of the best defenses in football. Don't get me wrong, they lost AJ, but they drafted Malachi Lemon. Devontae Smith is still one of the best receivers in football. They still have Saquon Barkley, who, if you say, oh, he's still the best running back in football, I'd say, okay. I think he's allowed a down year after the greatest rushing season of all time. Um, so, yeah, I will say Commanders got better. Fairs. I will say Cowboys will have one of the best offenses in football. But out of all those teams, the team I'm most confident that will be last is the Giants. I don't believe in this team. I don't believe in anything about this team. I don't believe in Harbaugh in the year of 2026. I don't believe in Jackson Dart. I don't believe in Cam Scatterbo. I do believe in their wide receiver, but they had some cool stuff over there. However, yeah, I don't believe in this team. Defensively, they could be something, but I just don't believe in this team.
I agree.
But I
I
have
don't
a
believe in the
feeling.
Giants.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. If this is a big if they stay healthy, I got Dallas, and
Damn.
that's kind of crazy to say, but I got Dallas, man. I think their offense is really good, especially with CD and George Pickens. Ryan Flournoy is a very good receiver three. Javonte Williams was very promising in the run game. I do think their defense got better now
Yeah,
that
they did.
Matt Eberflus is not calling the plays. That bum. Um, Also, you have Kenny Clark will be healthy. Quinton Williams will be in the middle. They drafted Malachi Lawrence on the edge. Like they actually did a good job. Caleb Downs will save a lot of those
Yes,
plays over the top, which
I agree.
their secondary on the defense was atrocious. So I think that will be better as well. So I think I have a higher, even though I don't like to say it, I think Dallas has a they have a high ceiling. Now, will they actually get there? That's a question because you can say that a lot about the Cowboys, but I do think that they they should win the division on paper. I think the Eagles, their defense is still good, but their offense most likely will be a little bit worse. I do like Mekhi Lemon. He's a very safe pick at receiver, and he's going to produce. I love Devontae Smith as well. They're definitely going to do their thing, but I don't know how that's going to fully work out. They kind of have a similar play styles in a way. Devontae's more of a deep threat, but still he does a lot of damage on the intermediate routes and underneath. And Makai does that as well. And Nick Sirianni as a coach
Oh, yeah.
hasn't
Good
got
point.
given me a lot to go off of. I will say Brian Schottenheimer is definitely a better coach than him. So
Good point. Great point.
I'll take Dallas. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. Now I'm okay with being wrong on that, but I'll go with Dallas.
You did an excellent job at reminding me. I do hate Nick Sirianni. I will keep my pick because I do believe in Vic Fangio, one of the greatest defensive minds to ever coach.
So that's a bit.
But I do hate Nick Sirianni. If this is another season of this team being underwhelming, maybe Nick Sirianni shouldn't have a job.
Yeah, if they're not good, like especially if they don't make the playoffs or something like that, then he will get fired for sure.
Yeah, maybe they shouldn't have a job. Maybe just maybe.
I don't know, man. I'm not a believer in him. I'll just say that. Um,
What's he
Next
do?
up, nothing, nothing at all. The Mbappe special.
Yeah, Mbappe special.
Mbappe special, nothing. Um, let's go with the NFC West.
Ooh, okay. Who else? We can
Got the
even play a
Rams.
game. Say the teams on at the same. Say your prediction on three. One, two, three. Rams.
Yeah,
Who else, bro? Seahawks are expected to make like. Actually, side note. You know who I think will be better than the Seahawks this year?
you think
I
who
think San Francisco.
if
Yeah,
they're
San
healthy?
Francisco will be the second best team if they're healthy. I understand that is a large caveat for this team, but if they're healthy, I think they'll be better. I think that just I don't know, they lost Kenneth Walker. Um, They really didn't do any moves to like make themselves or buff up their team as a whole. Don't get me wrong, this is going to be one of the best defensive units in football by a wide margin. Mike McDonald's the best defensive mind in football. They have the talent. Cool. But and don't get me wrong, JSN's gonna put up numbers. But I don't know. I don't know about the Seahawks team. This Rams team is virtually perfect. Um, they have their defense is complete. At this point, they really buffed up their secondary. They have one of the best rushing attacks in the league, which makes you which is kind of hilarious because they also had one of the best passing attacks in the league last year. They have the MVP on their team. They have the defensive player of the year on their team. They have the best player in football on their team. And hell, they might get Aaron Donald to come out of retirement.
Yeah,
Who else is going to win this?
yeah. I think I agree with you. I think the 49ers, the fact that they almost got the 1 seed was still crazy. I think this is still the best division in football. I'm not as much of a Charbonnet believer as some other people. I think they'll miss Kenneth Walker, but they just couldn't pay everybody, so they had to let people go. The defense will still be good. Can Sam Darnold do the same thing that he did this past year? I don't know. I hope so, just for the sake of JSN. But yeah, I got the Rams too. I mean, they had the same record basically, or they were
Yeah.
like a game off. So with Myles Garrett on your defense, and they got Trent McDuffie, I don't really see teams beating them. Just Stafford has to stay protected and upright, and I think they're gonna run away with the division. But I don't count out Kyle Shanahan in the regular season. I'll say that, and it's gonna be fun to watch for sure. But moving to the second best division in football, NFC North.
I just said a few minutes ago that when a team wins, like like the Broncos or the Bears did, they are primed to regress the next year.
Mhm.
I do not think the Bears will win the division this year, um, which is kind of interesting because I don't know who else would win this division if it's not the Bears, unironically. On paper, I really do have the most faith in the Bears. Um, I think Detroit, there's a lot of question marks there. Same thing with Green Bay. Same thing with Minnesota. So, although history says that, you know, teams that win like the Bears did last year regress and will be worse the next year, I think Ben Johnson is special.
Flacco.
I have the Chicago Bears because again, like really just because
Yeah.
they present the least amount of question marks, man. They have their quarterback, they have a promising, offensive pieces. Defensively, they're getting better. They're young. There's so many other like Detroit. There's a lot of questions. Green Bay, they didn't really do anything that moved you. They have a coach that's pretty solid, but will his play calling be aggressive? We don't know. They have a quarterback, but will that calling maximize their quarterback? We don't know. Minnesota, we don't know how good Kyler will be. There's a lot of question marks, so I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna go with Chicago.
Yeah. I agree. I think, and this is not biased. Like I'm trying my best not to, even though I'm a Bears fan. Last year, I did not think they were going to win the division. I think I couldn't have expected what happened this past year. By no means. They came back from a lot of games. But, and I do think you're right. It's a valid point to say that if you win a lot of games like that at the very end, you should regress. Keyword should, though. The difference is why I think they won't is because offensively, I think Caleb will take that next step and be better. And whether that's Loveland, Rome, or Luther, I think two out of those three, I trust them. I trust all three of them, but I think two out of those three are gonna take the next step. I think again, this is not biased. You can look up the stats. In the second half of the year, Colson Loveland was a top five tight end in football.
Yep.
That's when they actually made him a part of the offense. I don't know why we waited halfway into the year to figure that out. And same thing with Luther Burden. Luther Burden had 47 catches for over 600 yards, almost 650, and we did not throw him the ball before week 8 except against the Cowboys. And that meant the majority of those yards came on the flea flicker. And
Yeah.
he actually became a part of the offense against the 49ers and against the Packers. We saw him at the end of the year. And same thing with Rome. Rome had over 600 yards, was second in the team in yards, and missed 5 games. I think that he probably would have had 1,000 yards because he averaged 58 if he played 5 more games. And like my only problem with Rome, he does not catch the ball enough, which again to me is still crazy because his contested catch rate, again, you can look this up, coming out of Washington was like a 68, 70%. So the fact that his problem is dropping the ball just baffles me. Because how were you that good in college in a very good conference and you went to the national championship, so you were playing the best competition. And then now your problem is not catching the ball. That to me is wild. But I think he still has the talent to be that guy that I know the talent is there. I know what I saw. And same thing with Luther Burden. If Rome doesn't step up, Luther is going to take, because Luther, like I said, 47 catches, they were on 60 targets. Luther's not a guy who has a problem with dropping the ball. You just got to get him the ball. And that, that I think will do a lot of favors. And we saw what Caleb did last year, 27 touchdowns, 7 picks, and almost 4,000 yards, right under it. And we saw him, the Bears were top 5 in the league in drops. So again, those are some things that Ben is going to be stressing this offseason. And I trust that now that they're not learning the offense, I think that they'll just be better. And our defense last year and our D line is still bad, but the defense of that, especially the defensive backfield, I think just is better. Like Dylan Thieneman was a great pick. I think he can play strong and free safety. Kobe Bryant was a great pickup. He can also play strong and free safety and play nickel. It's just about could Kyler Gordon stay healthy, which I don't know, but let's say Kyler Gordon does stay healthy. I think Jalen Johnson will stay healthy. He that was his first year of him really getting hurt. I think this at least our secondary is definitely better. And if you don't think that if you watch the 49ers game, we had to make a change. Literally every drive they scored. You had to make a change. I trust TJ Edwards. I just hope he's healthy. And same thing with I like the Deion Bush pickup. I'm glad we got rid of Tremaine Edmonds. He was making too much money to not be a top 10 linebacker in the league. Only worries for me are a left tackle and our defensive line. But when you compare that to the rest of the division,
Yeah.
the Packers lost Romeo Dobbs. Micah Parsons probably is not going to play at the start of the year.
Yeah.
Tucker Kraft may not either.
Yep.
And I do think Matthew Golden's good, but I still have to like actually see that with my own eyes besides in that one playoff game. And I think Kyler Murray, I love Kyler. I was a fan of him when he was in college. I don't know how good he's gonna be with Justin Jefferson. And if if it's really a battle, that means with JJ McCarthy, that's not a good thing. And Detroit, their offense obviously is still there. They still have the pieces and the parts to do that. But Terrion Arnold just got cut, and they don't have Amik Robertson anymore. So who's playing DB?
Yeah, it's just there's just so many questions about the other teams. Again, like you just said it, Micah Parsons might not be playing for like a solid amount of the year. That's an issue. That's a large issue, bro. Because we saw the Packers with Micah Parsons be one of the top defenses in the league, and then without marking Micah Parsons, not be that. We saw, and the thing is, again, you just said it. Who is Jordan Love going to be throwing to? We don't know. We don't know with the Kyler stuff defensively. It's a Brian Flores defense. They will be top 10. Offensively, Kevin O'Connell. They will make something shake if the quarterback can do so. We don't know if Kyler can do so, or at least to that level. Um, The Lions. I who's gonna be calling plays here? That's honestly my biggest question. Like, who's gonna be calling plays here? Like, offensively, they're still there.
It'll be Dan Campbell probably.
That's not the greatest thing. And the thing is, I like Dan Campbell, but like, he is a culture guy. I do not want him as my play caller. You know what I'm saying? Um, so all that being said, I do think the Bears will make it through.
Finally, you gotta talk about your team, bro, your division. Who is winning the NFC South? Because it's pretty pretty ass. I'm being honest.
So the Carolina Panthers are not winning the NFC South. Do not get me wrong. I think we'll be a competitive team. I think we'll win some games. I think we'll give some teams some scares. Maybe even the Bears when we play them. You know.
Chill.
But I don't think we're winning it. I think going into this next year, I have the Saints. I think the Saints near the end of the stretch, near the end of last year, showed us that once they figure this stuff out, they can really make some stuff shake. And near the end of the year, they were making some stuff shake, as well as Tyler Shook showed us, hey, I can kind of hoop. They have some good defensive weapons. They got some good acquisitions. They are better than the Panthers, and I'm not just saying that because like I'm a pessimist about the Panthers. I'm saying that because they beat us twice last year. We didn't beat them. Um, yeah, I will say teams that are not winning the division. One team I know that isn't winning the division. It is the Buccaneers. They are that might be Austin's pick. Who knows? But they're a team that got older and worse. Um, Hell, if Atlanta has like even like a decent performance out of Tua or you know, Penix, they're a better team. I think actually every team in this division might be better than the Buccaneers. I'm really off the Baker Mayfield train. I'm not falling for the Baker Mayfield propaganda. I know those first 6 weeks he'll be fantastic. What happens after those first 6 weeks, you know, it happens, you know. But yeah, shout out to the Saints. They'll probably win it. Good team. Yeah, I think, but I'm not mad at that. Carolina Panthers, we're a good team. We'd be competitive if we win it. Great, awesome. Bryce Young, back to back. You know what I'm saying?
I think this division is just a pack of mid. I'm not gonna lie. I think Bryce Young. Are you re-signing Bryce Young?
If he wins the division, yeah, why not?
If they won the division like with the record they had last year, like 8-9 or something like that.
Probably. The thing is, though, we're at a weird part in which what really good quarterback are we going to find in free agency? A, and B, we're too good to tank.
That's true, but like
We're a middle of the
if
pack
anything,
team now.
I would tag him, but like I'm not giving him a contract. I'm not gonna lie. Yes,
I
show me
understand.
some. But I will. I'm not gonna lie. I think at their peak, I would say the Falcons, but I don't
Yeah,
trust. I
naturally.
think I don't trust Tua. I don't trust Penix either, and I want them both to succeed. But I say on paper it should be the Falcons.
Yeah.
Um, it's for real between for me. It's between the Bucks and the Falcons. I think
Oh my lord.
Micah. I think Baker Mayfield. He's not like a top 10 quarterback to me, but like again compared to the NFC South, like he's still the best quarterback in the division.
He is.
Like yeah, so I think Emeka Ibuka. He's still going to be very solid. Chris Godwin, I don't know. I would probably say the Falcons. The Falcons are my pick. I don't trust Tua. I don't trust Penix, but they have one of the best running backs in the league in Robinson. Drake London is a very good receiver. They have comparable pieces around them. They just find a way to lose every time. So I'm gonna say the Falcons. I think the Bucks could be number two. They got a lot of injuries at the start of in the second half of last year because they started out really well.
like they usually do.
But I'm not a believer in the Saints. They got to show me, bro. I love Olave. Um, yeah, that's really it. I think Kool-Aid and their DBs are good, but like nobody and Travis Etienne with Alvin Kamara, that should be cool. I think Kellen Moore will do a good job of calling those plays. Still not that move though, if you ask me.
I hear that. I hear that. I hear that. I wanna shout out. I want to shout out my guy Denari of the Young Bulls podcast. Just graduated from Temple. They don't believe. He doesn't believe in the Saints, bro. Show him, bro. All that shit you be talking to me, give it to him. Give it to him instead, bro.
Hey man, I think the Saints. I think the Panthers will do better than the Saints. Keep it a beam. I think they're a better
Condolences,
team.
bro.
I really do. Like your defense got significantly better.
Yeah, yeah.
The Bucks could be bad, but I don't know. It's this whole thing. This whole thing is just the whole division. Just nuke the whole division. What they say, nuke the whole generation, nuke the whole division, bro. That's gonna be bad. This will be a two-parter, but we appreciate you guys tuning into the breakdown. Like I said before, I'm Austin Johnson,
And I'm Drew Covington.
and we'll see you on the next one.